In 2017, a detective novel set in China. Upon its release, it quickly becomes popular across the entire internet. Its more than 10 plot twists and breathtaking pace make nearly 200,000 people give it a high score of 8.2. However, due to its extremely graphic crime methods, it always remains unable to be shown on the big screen. The huge plot twist at the end even makes the film instantly legendary. The plot uses interlocking foreshadowing. It gradually unravels and reconstructs the 9-year entanglement of fate. A friendly reminder: if one does not watch until the end, one will definitely not guess the truth. The story begins with a shocking car accident. Seeing the two unconscious people in the car, reporter Kai does not even bother to help them. He points his phone at them and frantically takes pictures. A well-known figure from Taiwan province and a hot young model are out late at night and get into a car accident. At this moment, Chi's mind is filled with images of promotion and a raise. He immediately calls his goddess to show off. But the next second, after he sends the car to the repair shop, a strange thing happens. His friend determines that the car has been in a major accident before. Kai finds it hard to believe, so he immediately finds a friend at the police station. He asks the friend to help retrieve the car's information. However, he discovers that the car, which he bought just 1 month ago, it turns out to be a crashed car with a replaced shell. And the accident photos from that time directly shock Chi's eyes. Past scenes instantly flood his mind. 9 years ago, he is still an intern. On his way home, his car suddenly breaks down. But while Kai waits for rescue, an accident suddenly occurs ahead. Kai quickly gets out of the car and rushes over. But the offending vehicle directly flees the scene, not caring at all about the injuries of the two people in the car. The astonishing coincidence makes Kai somewhat incredulous. However, before he can start investigating, a piece of bad news comes from the television. That famous person is actually married to the hot young model. Now the other party wants to pursue responsibility for the report. After Kai arrives at the company, the leader has already called an emergency meeting. He learns from Goddess Maggie that the company, to appease the other party's anger, decides to fire him, and the editor-in-chief also keeps adding fuel to the fire. She has no chance to plead for him. Although Kai is very unwilling, he can only pack his things and leave. That night, a depressed Kai looks for his friend to drink with. But when he talks about the accident from 9 years ago, his friend's expression is somewhat intriguing. After his friend's advice, Kai decides to use this opportunity to thoroughly investigate the car incident. But when he finds the photo album taken 9 years ago, he discovers that some photos were inexplicably deleted at some point. At that time, besides him, only the man had touched the camera. Kai suspects the man of having a hidden secret.
所以你是要弄中文？
老大，我现在是无业游民，妈的是众人想弄我。
那你现在打算怎么做？
先找到当事人再说吧。
With Maggie's help, Kai finds the newspaper from the day of the car accident. But he discovers it is all news about a little girl's fatal abduction. Kai, eager to find the truth, does not pay attention to these. When he sees the girl from the car accident is still alive, Kai follows the address and arrives at the hospital. But he is informed that the girl mysteriously disappears a few days after being admitted. The two of them then rush non-stop to Aiding's home. But inside the house, there are only a group of elderly people.
阿婷没到你家了。
那他现在住在哪里啊？
哎，你是谁要创啥啦？
我们是他同学，要开同学会，所以过来找他。
哦，你是你的同学哦。
Just as it seems the clue is about to end here, Kai suddenly discovers that the tea everyone is drinking is surprisingly competition-grade tea. Having grown up planting tea with his parents, he knows very well, this kind of tea costs over 70,000 yuan per jin, and it is only available in specific places. It is definitely not something ordinary people can access. They immediately rush to the largest tea shop in the area. From the boss, they learn that only one female teacher has been buying this tea. However, she is not surnamed Shu but surnamed Zhang. Just as they are talking, teacher Zhang happens to walk in. With just one glance, Kai recognizes teacher Zhang as the girl from the car accident. However, He does not pay attention to why Aiding changed her name.
我想跟你聊聊车祸的事情。哎，徐小姐，不好意思，我是那天的目击者，我只是想帮你查出真相，然后抓到那个肇事者。
我也要知道真相啊！
还是我能帮你什么？
不需要，我很好。我一个当事者都不想追究，你目击者追什么？
Kai still tries to make her stay. However, Aiding insists it was a car accident caused by her boyfriend's drunk driving. She then goes straight upstairs and leaves. After returning home, Kai looks through the case files from that year. It clearly states the driver has no alcohol in his system. Clearly, Aiding is lying. So what truth is hidden behind the car accident? Just as he thinks, Aiding suddenly calls him. She tells him not to mention to anyone that he has seen her. Kai immediately reveals his discovery. He hopes they can meet to discuss in detail. Just then, a sound of breaking in suddenly comes from the phone. Immediately after that, Aiding screams. Kai urgently finds the owner of the tea shop. He asks him for Aiding's address. But when he arrives, he finds that the door lock is violently broken. Aiding is nowhere to be found. Just then, a noise suddenly comes from the bathroom. He sees a figure escaping through the window. Kai follows closely behind, chasing him downstairs. Unexpectedly, the other person directly drives and crashes into him. Kai immediately leaps and hides in a narrow gap. Meanwhile, the killer takes the opportunity to quickly leave. Meanwhile, Aiding finally wakes up, but she seems familiar with the room. When she realizes no one is in the room, Aiding laboriously lifts her broken right leg. She uses her mouth to remove the pin from the brace. Then she easily opens the handcuffs. Evidently, she has many untold stories. Soon, Kai receives Aiding's distress call. But before he can ask, screams once again echo from the other side. Then the phone call is disconnected. In order to find Aiding as quickly as possible, he immediately finds a friend at the police station and asks him to help retrieve the phone's location. After returning home, Kai once again looks through the car accident photos. This time, he notices the convex mirror at the turn. After he magnifies it, he indeed sees the back of a Mercedes-Benz car in it. Because the pixel quality at the time is not high, he simply cannot determine the specific license plate number. So, Kai takes the inferred number and comes to the police station again, asking the new way to help retrieve the vehicle information. But what he never expects is that one of the car owners turns out to be his own mentor, Chu. According to past experience, after the editor-in-chief reviews the information, he still needs to ask for the chief editor's opinion. Then the matter of deleting the photos is very likely also related to Chu. Looking at the contact list on his phone, Kai does not know what to do for a moment. Just then, his friend suddenly calls.
喂，给啦。
你最後用車禍幫我提前俾佢哋講，
喺度呀。
等我喺保安櫃講，先關你交你出去睇先。
However, when Kai arrives at the repair shop, he finds that Chu has already arrived first. The man lies in a pool of blood, lifeless. According to the police's examination, the man suffered a fatal fall. But Kai does not believe this result at all. He suspects his friend was silenced by Chu. So Kai tentatively brings up the Mercedes-Benz. Chu neither admits nor denies it. Instead, he directly reveals the truth of the car accident. At that time, the man borrows his car to show off at the bar. As a result, he drinks too much and has a car accident. Afterward, to get rid of suspicion, the man steals a car of the same model and changes the license plate. He thinks the matter is done flawlessly. Who would have thought that 9 years later, Kai brings up the car accident again? The man originally wants to settle this matter privately with Aiding. Unexpectedly, Kai corners him in the room. After experiencing this matter, the man decides to call both of them to the repair shop to confess everything. Who would have thought that in the end, he still cannot hold on. The sudden truth catches Kai off guard. But immediately after, he notices something is wrong. If the man is the perpetrator from that year, then who kidnaps Aiding? Countless questions swirl in Chi's mind. But before he can even begin to investigate, his friend finds the location of the phone signal. Kai immediately rushes there with the police. However, None of the nearby residents have seen Aiding. The three of them have no choice but to check each house one by one. But what Kai does not expect is that Wei, who helps him check license plates, also lives here. As they talk, a sudden noise comes from inside the room. Kai senses something is wrong and rushes straight in. However, after he opens the door, he finds that a cat has knocked over a basin. Seeing this, Kai has no choice but to give up. As he leaves, a family photo on the table catches his attention, but he does not think much of it. That evening, Kai returns to the repair shop. When he sees the photo of the man proposing to his girlfriend, he immediately confirms his suspicion. But after he arrives at Chia's residence, he finds that the goddess Maggie is also there. At this moment, Kai completely breaks down. Fortunately, he does not let anger cloud his judgment. After Chu comes out, Kai gets into the car and pulls out the photo. The day of the car accident is the day the man proposes. Therefore, he cannot possibly borrow a car to go to the bar. Seeing his lie exposed, Chu has no choice but to tell the truth. At that time, it is his celebration party for being promoted to editor-in-chief. After it ends, he leaves with Maggie. On the way, Maggie suddenly tries to use the opportunity to get a promotion and a raise. As a result, a car accident occurs when she is not paying attention. Originally, he intends to call the police, but Maggie remembers that they both have been drinking. They choose to hit and run. Afterwards, he finds the man and asks him to help steal a car of the same model to change the license plates. Plus his influence at the time, this car accident is eventually covered up. Until recently, he learns from Maggie that Kai is investigating the car accident. He then sends the man to privately resolve this matter. But it is too late. As for who kidnaps Aiding, Chu also does not know. Just at this moment, Kai suddenly remembers the family photo he saw before. At this moment, he finally realizes something is wrong. But just as Kai is about to leave, Chu suddenly speaks up.
和9年前一样，你掌握的只是一部分的真相。你想当15分钟的英雄，还是继续跟着我呢？
Looking at Aiding's photo on his phone, Kai does not know how to choose for a moment. But in the end, he still comes to Wei's residence. The truth is just as he thinks. Wei's home is right next door to the old lady. Before, he just comes to help take care of the kitten. Kai immediately finds Wei, but unexpectedly discovers that he carries out 2 buckets of liquid from a chemical store. Although he does not know what exactly is inside, relying on many years of work experience, he has a premonition that something big is about to happen. Kai follows Wei back home. He sees the other person wearing a raincoat and covered in blood. And he also holds Aiding's crutch in his hand. Kai hurriedly grabs an iron bar and rushes into the room. However, just as he opens the door, Wei pounces on him from behind. The two of them grapple with each other in the cramped space. Soon, Kai loses the ability to resist due to exhaustion. He can only watch helplessly as Wei goes to the kitchen to get a knife. But what he never expected was that Wei surprisingly does not actually deliver a fatal blow. Kai picks up the knife on the ground and cautiously approaches the room. But just as he prepares to open the door, Wei suddenly asks him if $2 million is easy to spend. Kai incredulously freezes in place. 9 years ago, Aiding, Wei, and a third friend are inseparable, and they spend all day together indulging in debauchery. In order to maintain this kind of life, they decide to kidnap a wealthy businessman's daughter and demand $15 million in ransom. However, when Aiding and their friend return with the money, they discover that Wei has already cruelly murdered the little girl. The two of them are so scared that they run away with the money. Unexpectedly, a car accident occurs halfway. Kai, after finding the two unconscious, secretly takes $2 million. Just as he dials the alarm call, Wei also catches up. Upon seeing him still alive, an enraged Wei directly uses a seatbelt to forcefully silence him. Then he leaves with the ransom. Soon after, he secretly brings Aiding home from the hospital. At this moment, Wei is like a qualified husband. Every day, besides taking care of Aiding, he launders the ransom. During this time, He also discovers that $2 million are missing. But after much thought, he cannot find the reason. Finally, he can only give up. Several months later, Aiding finally recovers completely. Wei originally plans for them to leave the city and escape. However, Aiding unexpectedly leaves alone with the money. To find her, Wei diligently studies and gets admitted to the police academy, becoming a police officer. But he does not expect this search to last for a full 9 years. Until Kai comes to retrieve information with the car's file. Wei then targets him as a witness. After several days of tracking and following, he indeed finds the missing Aiding. After Kai and the other person leave, Wei immediately begins his revenge. After bringing Aiding home, Wei then learns that Aiding changed her name and became a teacher after escaping. Eventually, she even buys several houses, becoming a landlady. Now, seeing Kai so fixated on the car accident from 9 years ago, Wei instantly understands where the $2 million went. Kai finally opens the door, but the scene before him makes him immediately vomit. He sees Aiding has been made severely physically compromised. Although her limbs are cut off, she is still breathing with difficulty. Wei drags Kai in front of Aiding. Then he hands him a screwdriver, threatening him to end Aiding's life. Kai knows he cannot escape death, so he strenuously neutralized the threat Wei. Afterward, Kai finds Chu, using the previously recorded conversation as leverage. He successfully gets rid of the murder suspicion and also becomes the department head. He thought the matter would end there, but the day before he takes office, a man suddenly shows up, inviting him back. Only then does Kai realize that the person driving the car back then was actually Maggie. No wonder she dates Chu for 10 years. However, none of this matters anymore. Taking the opportunity of the inauguration meeting, Kai tells a ghost story in front of everyone. Their gazes meet in the air. They both clearly understand that ghosts are certainly terrifying. But what is ever more terrifying is the human heart.